delayed gratification. What does the expression pay now or pay later, but pay we must mean to you and for your life? Is it possible to delay gratification? And can that help you to obtain better results over the long term of your life?
Okay, very good. So the idea here is that you want to delay things as much as you can. Okay. For example, as a young person, you probably don't need a luxury car. Of course, you would like to have a luxury car, but you don't need the luxury car, right? As a young person, there might be many things that you'd like to buy, but every time you buy something, it detracts from your ability to invest, right? And it's the investments that are going to make you wealthy. Okay, that's what's going to produce money for you. A little bit earlier in the class we talked about that. If you had a 2 million, if you had $2 million, hey, come on in.
Oh, I think they wrong.
I think so. if we earlier we talked in the class that if you have a $2 million home, let's say in Irvine, there's a lot of those in Irvine, and it produces an 8% rate of return, which is not a big deal. 8% is not that high. This young woman told us that in 1 year that investment would produce $160,000 for you in 1 year. Okay, so investing is very important. It's very important. Investors eventually become wealthy or financially secure, and people who don't invest become slaves to some kind of job. Okay, so but to invest, if you come from a wealthy family, it's a different story, like Donald Trump or the Kennedys or the Rockefellers, because as we mentioned during the class, their families fund everything, right? But that's not most people. Most people are just regular people, right? So you want to delay those things as long as possible. Maybe you want to drive a brand new BMW or a Mercedes Benz, but you need to delay that as much as possible and take your money and invest it. Okay. Now, when you're an older person, right? When you're 60s or your 70s or your 80s, and then you've built wealth, you made money, you have a good net worth, and then you want to buy yourself a luxury car or go on an expensive vacation or whatever, then you can do that, right? Because depending on your financial position and success, because you're not going to take your money with you, okay? So you might as well spend it. I live in a nice area, and sometimes I see Rolls Royces, and I see Jaguars and Lamborghinis and Ferraris, nice cars where I live, okay? But when I look inside the car, do you think I see a young man or an older man? Of course, right? Of course. Because if you're in your 60s or 70s, 80s, and you have a lot of money, you might as well spend it. Okay, you might as well spend it. Because you're not going to take it anymore, okay? If you don't spend it, it's going to stay here and it's going to go to somebody else, right? Okay, so that's the idea. You need to the only caveat here, and the unfortunate part here, it has to do with children, okay? And the reason I say that is because, do you think it's a good idea to become a teenage parent? Good idea to become a teenage mother, teenage father? He says no. Why not? He says no. Why not? Too difficult.
To study, work, and
take care of the baby. Yeah. Too much trouble. Too much trouble. Yeah. So that part, unfortunately, you probably want to delay it within reason, right? But this is easier for men than for women, right? Because men can have children at almost any age. Can a man have a child in the 20s? Yes. 30s? Yes. 40s? 50s? 60s? Probably. 70s? Maybe. Okay, so men, they can delay it a long time. They don't have a child. But not women, right? Can women have a child in their 20s? Yes. How about in their 30s? Probably. Not always. Probably. 40s? Probably not. Probably not, right? 40s, probably not. 50s? Almost impossible. So in that sense, it's kind of unfair for women because women have to, for a woman, especially a woman, your best strategy is probably to get an education and build up your finances and have your first child in your late 20s, right? And have a second child in your early 30s. That's probably the best strategy for a woman, But for a man, you know, do you guys know the Rolling Stones, this rock group? Yeah? Do you know Mick Jagger, the singer? Okay. He, at age 70, had a baby. So it's very uneven. It's very unfair. But that's the way it is. Okay, that's the only caveat. But you want to delay things as much as possible so that you can invest your money and have your money grow, so that eventually your money is working for you instead of you working for money. Right? Would you rather have your money work for you, like in the example of the house, or would you rather be working for money the rest of your life? Working for you, right? That's where you're trying to get to, right? You want to try to get to the point where you've made good investments, and now your money's working for you instead of you working for money. Okay, that's where we're going. Okay, next slide. Who has a red?